want you to show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me, 'cause I know then you'll see we could be true.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the one and only Naturally Niecy. So, first things first, before I start talking about this video, I want to give a huge shout out to SBGWC, who is a non-profit organization that supports the growing movement of black women and black girls in the Southeast. Without you all, this YouTube channel would not be possible. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Now, let's get started. First things first. This video will be, it won't be a tutorial. It's basically me giving out basic information about natural hair, about some terms I may use in my future videos. So this is just a video so you all can know. Excuse me if y'all see the reflection of the ring light. I don't have my lashes, and so I'm looking a little crazy, but I promise you next video it will be a lot better. Okay. First things first. What is natural hair? Natural hair is basically your God-given hair. It has been altered by any chemicals such as relaxers, texturizers, and or perms. So it's basically your God-given hair. This is what you were born with. What you woke up like this. This is what your natural hair is, okay? So it hasn't been chemically straightened with texturizers, perms, and or relaxers. Next. What are the different types of natural hair? I'm glad you asked me that. I really am. By the way, PSA, before I go any further, I am not a licensed cosmetologist. I did not go to school for hair. This is just things that I research on my own and things that I know about my natural hair. So please don't cover me. Don't cover my neck, because I promise y'all I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. This is stuff I researched on my own and things that I've learned about my own personal natural hair. Okay? Just throw that out there. Okay, let's continue. What are the different types of natural hair? Okay, first things first, you have 3A, 3B. 3A, 3B, I would consider that to be more of like a loose curl. It can come thin, medium, thick. You can have that, but I consider that more of a loose curl. It's not as tight as my texture would be like 4C, but it's more of a loose curl. So yeah, I can kind of, it's more of a, I'll say spiral, like a loose spiral. Coil, a loose coil. Okay, next thing, we have 3C. 3C is close to, 3A is not as loose as 3A would be, but is a little bit, it's a little tighter, but not as tight as someone was like 4A, 4B, 4C hair would be. But it's tighter than 3A, but it's not it's tighter than 3A, not as loose as 3A, but it's not as tight or kinky as someone with 4 through 4C hair. Okay, next, since we're speaking of 4A hair. 4A hair is it's tighter than the 3s. It has more of a kinky texture to it with it as well. I don't have 4A hair. It's a difference. You can kind of tell the difference if you do. It's not as kinky as 4C would be, but it's not as loose. Doesn't have more of a loose curl as 3A or 3B would have. Next, we have 4B, 4C. 4B, 4C hair will be considered my hair. It's more kinky. It has a very tight coil texture to it. It's not as near loose as 3A or 3B would be, but it's more of a kinkier coil texture, in my opinion. What is 4B, 4C hair is, and all this stuff I'll try to put a picture up, or you can Google and look at it yourself. Okay. Next. Since we're talking about hair, let's talk about transitioning, okay? Transitioning is basically when you are growing out your natural hair from the chemical I'll say chemically induced hair that you had, which is came from texturizers, relaxers, and perms, as I stated earlier. Basically, you're trying to grow back your natural hair that you had, that you were born with. So that is that process transition. Most people who transition back into natural hair, that's the process that they go through. So that's transitioning. Next, we have the big chop. Now, in my opinion, there are different meanings to the big chop, but the Google definition and the true definition of big chop is based on when you cut off the, I'll say, chemically induced hair that came from relaxer, perms, and texturizers, like I stated earlier, during your natural hair journey. So when you see people with like the they have like their natural hair curl pattern at like the top and then at the end, you will see like the straight. They usually do the big chop on that and they'll just chop that off. Or sometimes, in some cases, they won't even just go through that whole process. They'll just cut off their hair, and basically start their whole process over without growing out their hair. They just cut off their hair and start that process. And I also know people who are natural, who hair was damaged either by coloring or straightening too much, or it's just too brittle and it's breaking too much. They'll do the big chop and start over. And I didn't know some people just have healthy hair and they just decide to do the big chop. So like I said, it has different meanings, but the main meaning is people who transition and they chop off the chemically induced hair. Okay. Next, we have hair porosity. Hair porosity. That is the ability to absorb moisture, and it's broken down into 3 categories, such as low, normal, and high. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little detail about those. Not too much because like I said, I'm not licensed, so I can't really go. But from my research and what I've learn about myself, this is what it means. So low porosity is basically your cuticles are little tight and is resistant to water and moisture, so it doesn't absorb moisture or water too well. So that is low porosity in my opinion. That's what I think it is. From my research, that's what I understand it to be. Okay, so next we have normal porosity. Basically holds shine and has moisture for an extended amount of time. So basically they're saying like those are the people who can like do like a really good wash day or a really good hot oil treatment. Their hair can stay shiny and moisturized for like a month or 2. Like those are people who have really good porosity. Last but not least, we have high porosity. High porosity absorbs the product quickly, but just as the product goes in quickly, the moisture will leave the hair just as fast. So you can put all the products in your hair, but the moisture will leave. Those are people with high porosity. Okay. Next, we have wash and go. Now, wash and go is like my best friend. Okay, I do this all the time. I don't like to wash my hair every day, or at least 2 to 3 times a week, because I feel like it dries out my hair more. That is my personal opinion. Everyone's natural hair is different, but for me, I know that it dries out my hair quickly. So usually, if I wash my hair, I just use conditioner only, and I do like a good wash and go wash day once or twice a month. Usually twice a month I do it. But basically wash and go, that's when you just hop in the shower, maybe put a little leave-in conditioner and some water, maybe a little oil, and you go about your day. You just leave it in its natural state, like this, okay? I just hop in the shower, put a little conditioner, a little oil, and some water, and basically you don't use braids, you don't straighten it, you don't use tools to manipulate your hair. Whatever your hair is, you just let it be. That is a wash and go, okay? Next, we have a co-wash. Co-wash is basically skipping the shampoo process, and you go straight into conditioning your hair. Like I said, I do that because I personally don't like it. I feel like it dries out your hair, but in my opinion, with my hair, everyone's hair is different. But I usually use conditioner to do like just wash it, not wash it, but like rinse it out real good, and then I put a conditioner and let it sit in there for like 10 minutes maybe while I shower, and I let it sit there, and then I wash it out, and then that is basically a co-wash. I don't do the shampoo. I usually put the co-wash and the wash over in the same, but I don't use shampoo every time I do that to my hair, because personally, like I said, personally, it dries out my hair more. So if you have that problem, like every time, you know, like every time I wash my hair, why is my hair so dry? It may be because you maybe use a shampoo. And I don't want to hear, well, maybe it's the shampoo you use. I have used the Top Dot shampoo, y'all. I promise you. And it just does it every time. It does it every time. So, yes. Next, we have deep conditioning. Deep conditioning is a hair care regimen that can restore and maintain the strength of your hair. Basically, what that means is that you deep condition your hair, and it's a practice that most people who have natural hair that they use, and it restores and maintains the strength of your hair. Like I said, I usually do that on my major washing my wash days, which is about twice a month, beginning in a month, or unless in between there, but usually it's twice a month. So you do deep conditioning. That's where you basically you get some really, really good conditioner, maybe a little mixture that you made up, and you let your hair sit. Some people actually use heat with it. I personally don't, but you can. But you usually just do that and let your hair condition really good. Usually people who have braids in for a long time, or you wear braids a lot, or you wear sew-ins, wigs, or frontals a lot, deep condition is very, very important because that is a lot of tension on your hair. And especially when you have sew-ins or especially braids, you really don't wash or sometimes even oil your scalp, so your hair loses a lot of moisture during that time. So because of that, you really need something that will bring back that moisture and maintain that strength in your hair. So deep conditioning is very, very important. If you wear wigs, sew-ins, frontals, or braids a lot, that is very important to retain and maintain the strength and moisture in your hair, because your hair does take a lot of tension when you do that all the time. So, even though those are considered protective styles, you still have to take care of your hair under those protective styles. So, deep conditioning is very, very important. Okay. Next we have protein treatments. Protein treatments boost your hair with nutrients and a protein. So basically, like I said, it helps the protein in your hair. You can, like I like to say in my term, oversaturate your hair with protein, which is bad for your hair. You can do that. So I wouldn't suggest doing a protein treatment like every week or so, or no more than, I'll say 3 times a month, in my opinion. This is my opinion. This is what I've been through. I usually won't do a deep conditioning and a protein treatment in the same day. If I do a wash and go, I may do, when I do it one time I do my wash day, and the other I usually don't like to do that, because that also is a lot of like tension as well, product wise, on my hair. So I usually don't like to do that at the same time or in the same day, because that is a lot. But I do suggest also protein treatments too, if you do wear a lot of sew-ins, braids, or frontals or wigs. That is also important for you to do. That will help the protein in your hair that was lost, or like I said, your hair does retain a lot of tension when you do that. Do those hairstyles a lot. Even though those are considered protective styles, you still have to protect your hair under those protective styles, okay? And also, our hair is about 91%, don't quote me, 91% of protein. So you want to keep that protein in your hair, girl. You got to keep that in your hair. You got to keep that. But that's what I suggest to do. That is about it. I don't have a lot more to say. If I do use any more terms, I'll explain them in my videos that I do. But these are mainly the terms or things you may hear in the natural hair community. So, like I said, I would suggest that you take heed, listen to the video, absorb all this information. Be quiet, Steve, girl. But make sure that you take heed, listen to all the information. You know, I will be dropping a video hopefully next week, you know, when the rest of my stuff comes in. I will be doing giveaways and future videos, so check those out. Still like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you do that. Leave a comment about below. Share this video with all your friends, family, future natural heads, girl. Make sure you do that. And last but not least, before I exit, thank you so much to SBGWC. Thank you for this opportunity. Like I said before, without you all, this video, this content, this YouTube channel would not be happening. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for the support. Make sure you all check them out, support them. They do a lot of things in the community, and I'm so grateful to have them on my side. So this is about it, y'all. I'm about to exit. A video will be dropping next week on a few tutorials about hair. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And Natural Nisi is out.